Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm excited to get into today's story. We are going to be talking about something mindset-y that actually I was thinking about a couple of weeks ago when I spoke to somebody, so I'm excited to share that. But before we get into it, I do just want to announce and let everybody know that my program, DPT to CEO, that so far up until this point has pretty much just been all one-on-one coaching. It is now available as a self-paced program. If you are interested in that, you can find the link for it down below in the description, or just head to my website at morganmeese.com and you should be able to find it under courses. So without further ado, let's get into it. Today's story. So this is something that I wanted to talk about because it was something that was almost like a light bulb moment for me a couple of weeks ago when I was having a conversation with somebody, and I thought that it might be something that you have been feeling. I know I have felt this way before, and I thought it would be really important to kind of bring it up and just put it out there as potential thought and something to think about. So the story goes, I was speaking with someone, another PT, a couple of weeks ago. She had booked a call through my website, and we were doing a consultation and just kind of talking about where she was and what kind of help she was looking for. Maybe coaching, maybe not. And she had asked me a couple of logistical questions about getting started with her practice. And the first, not the first question, but she asked me a question that I thought was super interesting. She asked me this question that I thought was interesting because nobody has ever asked me this before. She asked me, she was like, well, Morgan, why can I not just make a flyer? Like a flyer to print out with the business information on it and go hang up or hand out to people. And it took me a second because I was like, oh, I haven't been asked that before. And up until that point, she had told me a little bit more about her story, where she had started her practice a couple of years ago. She'd gone through the credentialing process with Medicare. So logistically speaking, she pretty much had everything good to go. But it's been 2 years, and it might even be a little bit longer than that now, since she got everything set up, and she still hasn't seen her own patient. Or maybe she has one or two people in the past couple of years. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. But she hasn't really taken the next step forward to take any action towards building and actually growing her practice. And one of the things that she brought up, and I hear a lot of people bring this up, and I myself, so before I go in on this topic, I want to put out there that this is something that I have done too, and I still will do. All of us will still do it. But what I am trying to do is not do this. And whenever it comes up, owning it. So one of the things that she said is that life has gotten in the way. And I hear this more than I would like to. So it's kind of become a little bit of a pet peeve of mine that, I'll ask somebody why haven't you done this? Oh, life got in the way. Life was really busy. Why didn't you get to all of your coaching homework? Well, blah, blah, blah came up. And, why haven't you done what you said you were gonna do? Oh, life got in the way. And obviously there are some special cases, but very rarely does something happen where it is a true crazy emergency, death in the family, just something that it's okay, yeah, obviously that needs to be taken care of. I would say the majority of the time when life gets in the way, it's just other things came up and your business went on the back burner, or whatever it is that you're trying to work on. And I say this as somebody who has definitely done that. I think that this can happen a lot if you are trying to accomplish more than one goal or project at the same time, because that's what happens to me all the time. I will decide that I want to take 3 different courses, make content, do my coaching, do PT, clean the house, do all the things, and do them all at the same time. And then when one thing doesn't get done, or I didn't execute on it the way that I had intended, it's, oh, life got in the way. And while that may be true in a sense, using that as an excuse as to why you haven't done the thing, I think is what really starts to get me. So I know for me, I've been practicing if I didn't execute on something the way that I had intended, I will own that, like I said, and like take responsibility for it and think about like, is this actually something that's a priority for me right now? And if so, how do I fit it into my schedule? But if not, we're going to put it on the back burner for now, because even if it's something that I want to do, that I'm interested in, it's not a priority right now. So I need to part ways with it for the time being so that it's just off of my plate for right now. So I think what I'm trying to say with this is that if you are finding yourself in a place where you're just constantly like, oh, life got in the way, life got in the way, life got in the way, you need to seriously ask yourself if growing a practice and building a business is something that you want and that's a priority for you. And you have to have a really honest conversation with yourself about it, because the reason that you're not getting things done for it is that it's not a priority, or it's just not something that you truly want to do. And I think that that second one can be kind of hard to tackle, so we'll talk about that a little bit first. But I think, you know, in the past few years, and this is kind of like the arena that I'm in, so I think I see it a lot, but the past few years, more and more people are looking to start their own business, start their own practice. And I think it's easy to kind of like hop on that bandwagon and say like, yeah, like I want to do it as well, because we see a lot of the like glitz and glamours, so to speak, or like a lot of the good parts about running a business, but we don't see as much a lot of the parts of the business that are difficult and that are really hard and take a lot of effort and energy, that take confidence that you may or may not have right now. And it's easy to want to be part of the collective and say, I'm going to start my business as well. And then once you actually get into it and realize what is involved, the amount of time, energy, effort, all of that, you realize that maybe it's not what you want to do, but you're already in it, so you feel like you can't back out of it. And so you kind of like stay in this gray space of, well, I already started it and I think I want to do it, or I said I want to do it, and I'm here, but I don't have the time, energy, or resources to dedicate to this, so I'm just not going to, and then blame it on life getting in the way. And I think that that can be kind of a hard place to be, you know, because you've already like put some effort into the thing, and then realizing that you don't really want to do it anymore. I think, you know, there can be a lot of like feelings associated with that and coming to that conclusion. So if nobody has told you and that is something that resonates with you, just know that it's totally okay if you want to A, not do a business anymore, or B, put it on the back burner for a while and just like, you know, put it on the shelf in the closet and come back to it later. Nobody's going to look down on you, and if they do, then like those are not the kind of people you want to be around anyways. The important thing about it is that you tried it and you realize some things, you gain some information, and you can make better decisions moving forward because you've gained that information. So, you know, that was something that kind of came up in this conversation, kind of going back to that original question of why can't I just make a flyer? And the person I was speaking to, I told her that I think the reason why she can't get herself to make a simple flyer and go pass it out is because her energy right now is not aligned with the energy of what she wants to be doing, you know, or what she's telling herself she wants to be doing. Like what's here is not matching up with the like alleged goal and everything. So it's really hard to get yourself to do a thing when it's not, there's just like not an energetic match. And I wish I could come up with a little bit better way to describe that, but it could be coming from like a place of fear, like feeling, you know, like an imposter, feeling like you're not good enough, being worried about what other people think, being worried about like, what if I go all in on this and do it and I don't get any clients at all? Like just a lot of the worry that's associated with it. The second thing with not being an energetic match is kind of going back into the like, it's not a priority or it's not what you really want right now. And having that energy here, like knowing that your business is not a priority and or it's not really what you want to be doing, but then you're telling yourself that you need to take an action towards doing the business, it's not lining up. So if you are having a lot of trouble getting yourself to do things, and it's been a long time, like it's been years that you've been trying to get your practice off of the ground, I think it's really important to take a look at the reason as to why you can't get yourself to take the action. You know, if we get rid of the surface level things, like you just don't know what to do, check out my program. You know, like you haven't Googled things yet, but you don't go there. If you figured out what you need to do, you know that you want to do it, then maybe it's just a fear thing. And so maybe we need to just start taking smaller actions to help yourself move past the fear of it and help you kind of address like the mindset of things and working on your confidence. And then that'll help you take the action. It'll help you make the flyer because you're moving towards an energy that aligns with that of somebody who is a full-time practice owner and a full-time business owner. Like, I really think that the energy thing, like even if it sounds kind of woo-woo, it's really important, because if your energy is way over here and the goal's energy is over here, there's no way that is ever going to meet in the middle. So you don't have control over the result, and you need to control what you can, and that involves taking a look at your own mindset around things, you know, any fears, limiting beliefs, confidence, you know, if you really do want to grow a business and if it is going to become a priority. Because I just want to bring it back to the reason that you're not able to make a flyer. It's not that you're lazy, it's not that it's the wrong thing to do, and it most certainly is not that life got in the way.